Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel All About NCRT. I hope that you all are fine and doing well in your studies as well. So today I welcome you all to your channel All About NCRT, and today we are going to do active and passive voice. So this is going to be very interesting because active and passive voice is something that you are learning from class 6 if I'm not wrong. So now let's get started into this. Now see, an action of a subject in relation to an object is expressed in two ways. The two ways of expressing an action of a subject is known as voices. Okay, one is active voice and the another one is passive voice. Now see, I write a letter. Now this is active voice, and then if I change it into passive, it will be the letter had me. The letter is written by me. Now this the structure of same sentence changes when expressed in active voice and passive voice. The meaning of a sentence either expressed in active voice or passive voice remains the same. Now we are talking about the relation between object and subject. है ना? How we express it? Either we can write the letter is written by me, or I can write it I write a letter. Right? Now difference between active and passive voice. What is the difference? Now the meaning or main idea of sentence either expressed as active voice or passive voice doesn't change. The structure of the same sentence changes for the active voice and passive voice. We know that every sentence has subject, a verb and an object. Subject is an agent who works on object in a sentence. In the above example, I is the subject of the sentence that is doing some work on the object letter in the sentence. To understand the difference in both voices, we should focus on the subject and the object of the sentence. So सबसे पहले डियर स्टूडेंट आपका इसमें आता है सब्जेक्ट, यानी कि सब्जेक्ट मतलब क्या होता है जो क्रिया कर रहा है, एंड वर्ब वी नो दैट वर्ब इज समथिंग जो कि क्रिया की जा रही है उस पर्टिकुलर इंसान के द्वारा. नाउ सी डियर स्टूडेंट्स, सबसे पहले इनके अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए व्हाट आर द डिफरेंसेस ऑन बोथ साइड्स, द मीनिंग ऑफ बोथ साइड्स वी अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, now the meaning remains the same in the voices but in sequence of words. Now see changes. Now see, in the sequence of subject and object in active voice is reversed when it is expressed in the passive voice. For example, I write a letter. इसमें क्या है? Subject I है, I plus verb plus object. So in the passive voice, the object comes the first, then it comes the verb and then it comes the subject जो कि काम कर रहा है. ठीक है? So for example, active voices, I eat an apple. An apple was eaten by me. He bought a car was bought by him. Now the next is structures remains same sentence for voices are as follows. For example, active voice, subject plus verb plus object, and again in passive voice, object plus verb plus subject. Changes verb of the sentence for changing voices of a sentence. Apart from reversing the sequence of subject and object, the form of verb of the sentence also changes in both the voices. Okay. Now, for example, if I say, you can see, dear students, that change in the main verb as well as in an auxiliary verb. Auxiliary means your models. Okay. Of the same sentence, and auxiliary means dear student आपके helping verb जो भी होते हैं ना, we say them auxiliaries. Okay. Now see, the only form of the verb used in passive voice is the third form of the verb, which is also called past participles. यानी कि passive voice में जब भी आप convert करेंगे, you are going to use past participle form of verb. So it's very important to learn verbs and verbs forms. Okay. Hence, the rule changing for the verb for converting a sentence from active voice to passive voice is use only third form of the verb in the passive voice. The passive voice is formed with a suitable tense of the verb be followed by the past participle. Let's study the table. Now see, सबसे पहले हम learn करेंगे simple present के. Now simple present के लिए हम अगर active voice देते हैं take. Now see, I am taken. ठीक है, पैसिव वॉइस में टेकन आ जाएगा. टेक्स इज टेकन. टेक्स क्योंकि मैं बात कर रही हूँ एक सिंगुलर इंसान के लिए, जैसे थर्ड पर्सन ले. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ही और शी. ही टेक्स द मिल्क. Milk is taken by him. And then if I am talking to Reena. I am talking to Reena. So in this sentence also we can change into passive by adding being there. Okay. I had been. Reena is being taken. Or if I'm saying that I am taking the milk, milk is being taken by me, right? Now see, next is present continuous. So if I talk about present continuous, dear student, is taking, are taking, has taking, have taken. Now see, is taking आता है तो is being taken, are being taken, has been taken and have been taken. Now simple past, it is took, was taken. And then if I talk about past continuous, was taking, were taking. So was being taken and were being taken. Then past perfect में had taken आएगा, उसके बाद had been taken. Then simple future में will take, will be taken, shall be taken. Then can, may और must, जो भी आपका मॉडल आता है, can take or can be taken or must take, must be taken. So these are simply that I revise. 7th में हमने बहुत अच्छी तरह पढ़ा था. ठीक है. Now there are basic rules which is for changing active voice into passive. Okay. Now what are these rules? Let's see them quickly. Okay. Rule number 1 is, as mentioned earlier, the structure of sentence will be reversed in passive voice. The places of subject and object will interchange. The subject will shift to the place of object and the object will be taken to the place of subject in the passive voice. यानी कि अगर सपोज मान लो दिस आई राइट अ लेटर, तो इसमें क्या आपका आई जो आपका सब्जेक्ट है वो सबसे पहले आ रहा है और राइट आपका वर्ब है और ऑब्जेक्ट है. लेकिन इसमें क्या होता है, ऑब्जेक्ट और सब्जेक्ट की प्लेस रिवर्स हो जाती है, विच मीन्स ऑब्जेक्ट आपका सब्जेक्ट की प्लेस में आ जाएगा. सो लेटर इज़ रिटन बाय मी, और जब मैं आई को लाऊंगी नीचे तो वो ऑब्जेक्ट की प्लेस में आ जाएगा और वो जाएगा मी. नाउ सी रूल नंबर 2 इज़ only past participle form or third form of the verb, example eaten etc., will be used as the main verb in the passive voice for all tense. यानी हर बार past participle form ही आपकी यूज़ की जाएगी verb की. Okay, passive voice में convert करने के लिए. No other form of verb will be used as a main verb. Now rule number 3 is the word by will be used before the subjects in the passive voice. Before the subject, यानी for example she drinks the water, so now the water is drunk by her. Okay, हमेशा object के पहले by use किया जाएगा. ठीक है. Now see, the next is rule number 4. Other words such as with or to may also be used instead of word by, depending upon the subject of the tenses. These words are used in very few cases. यानी कि with और to को भी हम use कर सकते हैं, not only the by. Okay. So the word by is used in the most cases. For example, I know him. He is known to me. यानी कि मैं उसको जानता हूँ. Smoke filled the room. The room was filled with smoke. Okay. Sometimes only. The auxiliary verb will be changed in the passive voice depending upon the tense sentence in the active voice. So auxiliary verb भी change होते रहेगा. For example, John is kicking the football. The football is being kicked by John. Now here we have used by. Okay. So now see, subject तो पहले क्या था, is था, so now we are saying by. Now see, the was there but now it is by. Okay. The subject may not always mention in the passive voice. A passive voice sentence can be written without having subject if it gives clear idea about the subject with the following. For example, women are not treated as equals. Now this is a passive voice. Okay. So in this sentence the subject is mentioned. Subject जो है आपका कभी कभी जो है हमेशा subject जो है mention नहीं किया जाता है passive voice में. Okay. So example, women are not treated as equal. Now here is not subject, right? Sugar is sold in kilograms. So this is also passive voice, but again the subject is not there. Okay, so these rules we have already discussed. Thank you dear students for watching the video. This was a short recap for your active and passive voice, because you've already read these things in your class 7 and 6. So I hope that these is clear. Thank you so much for watching the video.